This podcast is a proud member of the UUOP Network.
Are you ready to go the distance with Tricia's Disney pick? Or will Melinda deliver a Jurassic-sized knockout punch with her universal choice on this episode of Theme Park Throwdown?
Hey everybody, and welcome to episode 26 of Theme Park Throwdown. I'm Melinda. You can find me at Melinda's Magical Adventures on Facebook and Instagram, and I'm here with
Tricia at Tricia Travels on Facebook and Tricia Travels 85 on Instagram.
How's everybody doing today? We're all going to have to bear with Tricia a little bit tonight. She is doing her HHN research and has just finished season 4 of Stranger Things. So she's going through it a little bit right now. How are you feeling? How are you feeling, Tricia? How do we feel about Vecna right now?
Okay. Vecna's a piece of crap. I hate him. Sorry.
I love Vecna. So, I mean, you're supposed to hate him. That's the intention behind the show, right? He's this big, terrible killing machine. So, but let's check back in with Tricia in, I don't know, at the rate she's going through episodes, a couple days to see how she feels after the end of season 5. Anyways, before we jump into this week's Throwdown, we are going to announce the winner of episode 24, which was the Battle of the Ride Queues. You guys voted, and our winner was a tie. Again.
That's okay.
Everybody's a winner here, I guess. But I think that's good, though, because both parks definitely do have good elements in their queues, and I love a little bit of friendly competition. That's what the show's all about, right?
I honestly thought Harry Potter alone would take down Disney, so I'll take the tie.
Let's wait until we do another park, because that was just Gringotts, and I still have Hogsmeade and Ministry of Magic up my sleeve, so we got more coming. Good luck up against those two. Anyways, moving on from that battle, we are going to move into the news section for this week. Tricia, what's going on over at the Mouse House?
Honestly, nothing.
It's been so quiet over there lately.
So the Grand Floridian Cafe is closed for a lengthy refurbishment. So right now they've got construction walls up over the entrance from the lobby. I'm a little disappointed because I've canceled reservations at this restaurant like 6 times and I've never actually gone. So I was like, oh, I missed my opportunity. Well, we'll see what happens when it reopens. I feel like the Grand Floridian is getting a lot of attention right now. And maybe it's because it needs it, but it's like they got the whole lobby redone and now this. So we'll see what else ends up happening over there.
They brought back the tea party or
Oh, yeah. If you're searching the internet for some sneak peeks, you can catch Tegan Croft and Milo Manheim in the live action Rapunzel. Somebody, I think, was taking no pictures behind the set.
Yeah,
so you can catch these candid photos. I'm excited. I have to say, I'm getting a little fatigued of live action remakes. I want brand new content at this point. But
That's
Rapunzel, like Tangled, is one of my favorite movies because Rapunzel was like my favorite fairy tale growing up as a kid.
Yeah.
As you can see, I never had luck growing my hair out, though.
I will say, I am not a fan of Disney live action remakes. I do not like them. However, I took my kids to go see Moana last week and we loved it. It is getting so much hate and I don't understand why. It is a shot-for-shot remake, like 100%. But isn't that what most people want? Like, that's what I want in a Disney live action remake, is to see the original film, but live. That's the whole point to me. I don't want them to mess with the story. I don't want them to add things that weren't initially there and take away from that nostalgia factor. I thought it was awesome. I thought the acting was great. My kids loved it too. So I don't understand why it's getting so much hate and why it like did so poorly at the box office. Maybe because it had Toy Story 5 to contend with and the new Minions movie to contend with. Maybe it's been a very popular month for movies to come out. But I was really happy with it. I loved it.
Well, I'm glad you liked it. And who cares what other people think?
Yeah.
Another refurbishment is happening over at Old Key West. Right now, you cannot use the boats for the Sassagoula River to Disney Springs because they are doing a brief, I think it's like 2 to 4 week refurbishment of the docks. They will be offering bus transportation. And finally, this is a little bit of exciting news here. Captain Maria Gorder has become the first woman to command a Disney Cruise Line ship. Yay!
Yes, it's so awesome. Besides Captain Minnie, of course.
Well, yes. This woman has an impressive resume. She was studying law for like 6 years and then like came across like a cruise ship or whatever and just fell in love with the whole process and changed her career. I was like, that's bold.
I know, it's incredible. Yeah.
Good for her. Way to go.
I know. I think it's so awesome. I also saw the leaked menus for the, what's it called? The Six Ravens, which is the savory restaurant opening at Disney Springs from the owners of Gideon's.
Yes.
And there was like, the hours got leaked online. So everybody thought it was going to be opening, yesterday or the day before? And then it never did. And they had to put out this press release about like, oh, well, this wasn't supposed to happen, but I guess you guys can have the menus now since they're already out there. So that was kind of Universal had a big faux pas this week too with stuff getting out there that shouldn't have been out there. We'll talk about that in a second, but
I want to hear about your
there's a lot of people who are going to get in a lot of trouble. Yeah. All right. So we can talk about the leak first. So this was in HHN News. Let's just start with HHN News. They announced last week the Stranger Things Lagoon show, which I could not be more excited for. It is going to showcase scenes and music from all 5 seasons. So this is going to go back to the very beginning. And I cannot wait for this. I love a lagoon show. I know I've said that before, and I was really disappointed with last year's to be able to see something brand new and very highly themed. I'm really excited for. They made a Evil Dead Burn house announcement today. And so that is a house we're going to see. I am not excited about that. I'll tell you right now. I watched the first of the new iteration of Evil Dead movies a couple days ago. It came out in 2013. It's god awful. It's terrible. It's so predictable. It's so corny. I was laughing. I wanted to shut it off. It's just, I love gory stuff, but it was just gore for the sake of gore. Like there was no intention behind it. I don't know. I just hated it. So I am hoping that movies 2 and 3 of that iteration are a little bit better. This focuses on the 3rd movie, which just came out in theaters a couple weeks ago, which is Evil Dead Burn. So we'll see how that goes. I plan to watch those 2 in the next couple days, and I'll come back with my thoughts. But so far, not very excited about that.
I plan on listening to your review and not watch the movies. So
that's probably a good idea for you. You guys, I texted Tricia while I was watching the first movie and was just like, by no means should you ever watch this movie because I know how she feels about gore and things like that. And I was just like, this is not it for you. Fair warning. But there was a big uproar about multi-night tickets this year. One, because they dropped so late. We have typically seen them drop. It would have been 10 days or so ago in years past. So we were really just waiting for these multi-night tickets to drop. The second problem, which was the big problem, is that they did not include multi-night tickets with express passes at all this year. So if you want express passes for any night of HHN, you have to buy a single night express pass. And people are not happy. There are a lot of people on the forums and things like that on Facebook groups that are saying like, I'm boycotting, I'm not buying tickets at all this year, blah, blah, blah. And like, you know what?
Okay.
Great. Then less crowds for us. That's I don't have the luxury of like being a local and having a big multi-night ticket package, but I feel like the point of having a multi-night ticket is so that you don't have to rush through all 10 houses in 1 or 2 nights. And you have the luxury of being able to go on multiple nights. And the express passes should be saved for the people who only have 1 or 2 nights and need to be able to cram everything into those 1 or 2 nights. And so I'm not upset about it. I think it's great as somebody who's going to go for literally 2 nights this year. So it's a very mixed bag of opinions right now, but that's what they decided to do. And we'll see how it goes this year. We do also have confirmation as of today that there are going to be 3 houses that open at 2 p.m. for people that have either a day ticket and an HHN ticket or a stay and scream ticket and an HHN ticket, which I don't know how this is going to work with staffing. That is bonkers to me that they're going to open 3 houses at 2 p.m. Again, not upset about it because that means we can shove that much more stuff in to one night of HHN. So I'm super excited about that.
Are they going to honor the express passes during that extra window of time?
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
Express lines will be open during those initial hours as well. At least that's how it was last year. They didn't open at 2:00 last year, but when they did open at like 4:30, I think, they did already have express pass lines. However, pro tip, the express passes for HHN are not unlimited express. That means you can only use it 1 time per house. If you get in a line for a house during those stay and scream hours and it's only like 10, 15 minutes long, don't use your express pass because then later on in the night when wait times are way longer, you can then use your express pass to go through the house again. I made that mistake last year. Fallout was my first house that I went through at like 4:30 when it first opened. There was literally no wait. We walked right in and my dumbass used the express pass. And then later on in the night, I was like, we totally could have done that again. And we just flubbed it. So keep that in mind. Anyways, the thing that was a big flub on, I guess it wasn't necessarily Universal's part, but that really negatively affects Universal. There have been heavy rumors about an Ozzy Osbourne house this year, that being the last IP house that has yet to be announced. Pandora Radio, a couple days ago, put out one of their advertisements advertising for HHN and the Ozzy Osbourne house, which has yet to be announced. Somebody's getting fired. I told this to my husband, and he was just like, well, I mean, that's not that big of a deal. And I'm like, you so don't understand HHN. You just don't get it. He doesn't get how people wait forever for these announcements and how much excitement builds around them. And so for them to leak something like this in the way that they did is very unfortunate. But that caused a big uproar the past couple days of people posting recordings of this advertisement from Pandora and just being like, well, guess we know what the last house is. Here you go. So moving on from HHN to other things around the parks, we have the announcement that Fast and Furious Supercharge will be closing. Its last day will be August 16th. Oh, yes, I know. We're just so broken up about it. It's so devastating. Not. You are? Wait a minute.
Yes.
You like this ride? Oh, my God.
Okay.
You're one of those.
Okay, hold on.
You and Lee can start your little fan club.
It is so
Stop it.
bad. It is so bad. You
Yeah.
have a wonderful time on it.
That is
Like, we go
entertaining.
on that ride.
That's fair.
We like, oh my God, my daughter and I, we are just like so stupid on this ride because it's the worst ride ever. And that's what makes it the best ride. Just saying. I'll get over it.
I will say this somehow. I will say this closure came a lot earlier than a lot of people expected. I kind of expected this because if you don't know, the Fast and Furious queue is used as an HHN house. And so they have to close the ride for the duration of HHN. It's not open at all during HHN for those few months. So in my head, I was like, it makes no sense for them to have to close it for the end of August, September, October for HHN and then reopen it just to close it again a couple of months later. Why would they reopen it at all? So I wasn't entirely surprised by this announcement, but a lot of other people were. But that's what we got going on. And let the rumors begin as to what's going to replace it and when that will happen. We shall see. So that was one big announcement of a closure this week. The other big announcement of a closure, which was a shock to me, was Thunder Falls Terrace in Jurassic Park. Now, we knew that this was closing at some point in the future because they had announced that this is going to become the park's real big full service restaurant to replace Mythos when Mythos closes. However, there was no warning as to when this was closing or anything like that. They have announced that Mythos isn't closing until sometime in 2027. So I guess I was kind of under the impression that Thunder Falls was going to close at the same time as Mythos was going to. And they just all of a sudden on, I believe it was Monday of this week, said, Thunder Falls is closed. We're done. And it was like, what? I'm a little disappointed because I wanted to be able to go one more time before it closed. So I was hoping in September that I would be able to go, but clearly that's not going to happen because it's already closed. But I guess that makes more sense because it makes sense for them to want to already be into either far into the renovations or already have the new Thunder Falls, whatever it may become, be open when Mythos closes. So they're not losing both restaurants at one time. So we'll see about that. We don't have a closure date for Mythos and we don't have a reopening date for whatever Thunder Falls becomes. But that was a bit of a shock this week, for me at least.
Wait, you know what it's going to become? They're going to make another T-Rex cafe location, like the one in Disney Springs with all the animatronic dinosaurs. Just kidding. God, I hope
I
not.
wouldn't be upset. As long as they do it better than Disney does, I wouldn't be upset. We'll see. I don't know. Because that one's looking rough. But, you know, that's a different battle for a different time. But the last thing I just wanted to touch on is that demo, again, still is going so quickly in the Lost Continent. The Sinbad's Theater is now completely gone. It is a plot of dirt, and they have begun the demolition of the Poseidon's Fury building. I'm going to be so sad to see that go. There's only 1 foot remaining. The trident is gone. And now the building is coming down. So they are moving so quickly with this demo that we've got to have an announcement for the replacement soon, I would think. I mean, yeah, it obviously takes a lot more time to build something than to demolish something, but I do think we're going to have an announcement, hopefully sooner rather than later, but we shall see about that. I think that's all we've got for news this week. All right. Well, then we will move on to this week's topic. We are going to cover quick service dining that you can find inside the parks. There are a ton of options to pick from, obviously. So these are just some that we think are the best. And we focused this episode on quick service dining that you actually go and sit down. Obviously, it's not full service. They're not going to have a waitress come and take your order, but a quick service location where you sit down and eat your food at a table inside the restaurant. We will cover like kiosks and counter service restaurants in another episode moving forward. So, Tricia, what's Disney got?
All right. So Hollywood Studios sometimes gets a bad rap for its quick service, but I have had a fair number of items from various places here. And it's kind of true. I tend to hit the kiosks if I do anything dining wise here, but there were a couple standouts. The first was ABC Commissary. So this is located kind of directly behind Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. So it's like kind of in the middle of the park. It's open from 10 a.m. to 9 p.m.
Yeah.
And they do allow mobile order, which if you haven't discovered mobile order, you need to. It's a wonderful thing at Disney.
Yes.
The one
it's
caveat
better at Universal.
Whatever.
We'll get there.
My one caveat is that during rush periods, like lunchtime, 11 to like kind of 1, if you don't order your menu like ahead of time, your window might be 30, 45, an hour minutes. I'll go with that. I'm still coming down after losing my mind from watching Stranger Things. So anyway, like 60 minutes after you would want to make a selection. So just be mindful those times can fill up. The price for this quick service is about $11 to $15 per entree. Most entrees include like a side of fries or something like that. There's not much theming here. Essentially, it's a staff cafeteria for like a television studio. They have posters up from like ABC television series. It's dated.
Yeah.
The decor is very 90s. They have live palm trees growing out of the floor. So it's not much to look at. Something to be aware of is that it does get very busy because of its central location, which can make it kind of loud in there.
Yeah.
But there's a fair amount of seating. We've never really had an issue finding a seat, but sometimes you're basically just like hawking for a table and you take one as soon as somebody gets up. And so the cast members are there, but it's hard to keep them clean, like the tables clean. So I would always recommend eating like on the early end of a mealtime or like on an off time if you can. So you're not having to deal with that lunch rush. Some menu highlights. The buffalo chicken grilled cheese sandwich is something that a lot of people talk about. And as long as it's fresh, it's a really good sandwich.
Is that an issue there? Food being fresh? Okay.
I feel like it's very inconsistent. I've had a really great version of this, and I've had I don't know how to describe it, where the bread is hard from sitting under a heat lamp, but also soggy from the butter because it's a grilled cheese at the same time. I don't know how that's possible, but they did it. I would say if you want something more consistent, go with the pork carnitas tacos or the Mediterranean salad for you veggie fans out there. If you're like, okay. Tricia, that's not a ringing endorsement, then I'm going to have to mention a Star Wars location, and that's Docking Bay 7 Food and Cargo. It's open from 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. It does allow mobile ordering. I do feel like mobile ordering here is less popular. I have a cookbook that is based on this location. Okay. It was created after Batu emerged in both coasts. And if you are back there, this particular dining location is sandwiched between Ronto Roasters and Smuggler's Run. It's kind of hidden, but you'll know where you're going because there is a shuttle parked on top of the building. This is Cookie's shuttle. And Cookie is a traveling chef. He used to work for Maz Kanata. So for those of you who have seen the sequel trilogy, she makes an appearance in there. And essentially, he's like a galactic food truck. And he's brought his food from all over the galaxy to Batuu for us to enjoy. So it's very Star Wars inside. It kind of feels like a little bit like a cantina. It's a little helter-skelter. There's some booths, there's some tables, there's like some booth/tables. I personally love the feel because I love Star Wars. But again, there are very tall ceilings in this building and the noise carries. So just be aware of that. I like the menus because they're themed. So my favorite is the Andorian fried Tip Yip, aka Tasty Chicken. And the other one is the sweet puffer pig ribs. Both come with their own set of sides. Typically, what we do is we order one of each and then we kind of just share it between two people. So everybody gets a little bit of everything. Moving over to Animal Kingdom, I know what everybody thinks I'm going to say because it's always talked about, but I am going to say Harambe Market. And this might be blasphemy, but that's the one I'm going with. It's open 10:30 to 4:30 because Animal Kingdom is like a grandpa and goes to bed early. So you better have your dinner by 4.
It does.
It does allow mobile ordering, and the price range again is about $11 to $15 an entree. I like the theme of this. It's like an African public market. Something to be aware of is that seating is outdoors but covered, so it's like open air. In fact, most quick service is outdoors and covered, like Flame Drink Barbecue. Yeah. Another example, Satuli Canteen, which was the one most people would say has kind of mixed seating. Yeah. But you just to be aware that if it's a really hot or humid day, you might not find as much comfort going to this place if you're looking for air conditioning. They do have fans and stuff like that. Honestly, I think it's pretty comfortable. I was there in July and I was fine. I also felt like it was quiet. Like it's got like a thatched roof kind of thing and it's lower ceilings. So since it's outdoors, noise kind of escapes. And so it's not bouncing around inside a building. Yeah. So if you're looking for a quieter place to dine and you just want to grab something quick, this is a good option. Now, if you like trying different things, but you have picky eaters, they do have like chicken tenders and more of your kid-friendly fare. But if you're open to it, I would recommend trying either the Tanzanian meat pie, which is kind of like a Hot Pocket. There's a kind of a way of thinking about it. Okay. They have a really good Savannah salad, and I'm going to murder this, but I think it's called the harissa chicken wrap. So they're all really great options. Harissa, yeah. They're not real heavy. So people say that Animal Kingdom is like the hottest park of the 4. So I think this is a good option if you're looking for a lighter fare that's not going to make you feel like you need to take a 4-hour nap after you're done. Yeah. All right. Moving over to Epcot. Now, I might get some shade for this because I only highlight one Epcot location, and Epcot is known for its dining, but it is the patisserie. And I don't speak French. We had this conversation in the last episode.
Léal.
There you go.
It's Léal, the patisserie. Yeah.
There. Okay. Thank you. Melinda to the rescue.
Listen, that's only because I watch Mammoth Club vlogs and it's like their favorite place. So
okay, great. So I'm with like company at least. You may have guessed this is in the France Pavilion. It is open 8:30 a.m. to 9 p.m. It's a great option for a light breakfast. So if you ever take the Skyliner into Epcot and you like gun for Remy's, it's a really good place to stop after you're done because it'll be open typically. And you can get in line for Remy's. The one downside, no mobile ordering for this. It's only a walk-up option that you have here. Prices are a little bit lower. So you're looking at $7 to $11 per item. They don't really have like sides with their sandwiches so much. So just be aware that if you are looking for like a larger meal, you're not really going to find it here. But what they do very well. It's
Yeah.
it's kind of weird. Like when you go in, it's like clean white subway tile kind of thing, kind of like French pastry shop meets cafeteria style. But I think they kind of have to make it that way for the crowds, essentially. And I think it's quieter. It's kind of tucked back. It's not something that you see so readily. I think the seating is fine here. There's adequate seating. Honestly, I've had a fair number of the sandwiches. I think they're all great. My family loves the giant croissant. And they have beignets, and they're kind of like a Nutella-filled beignet. So if you can't get your way over to French Quarter, you can stop back there and still get your beignet experience. I'm just saying.
Okay. You can also go and get just a giant baguette, and they have this like amazing homemade butter, and you could just eat bread and butter and be very happy.
Yeah. And then you can go into a carb coma after. Go listen to Voices of Liberty while you sleep it off. Whatever.
Walk it off, walking around the park. Yeah.
Yep. All right. I'm going to jump over to Magic Kingdom, and I am going to highlight the Pinocchio Village
hang
House.
Hang on.
Uh-oh.
Wait a minute.
Uh-oh.
I am shocked that you picked something in Magic Kingdom, because Magic Kingdom is known for having horrible quick service food. Like,
I stand by
that
my
is its claim to fame. It has the castle and horrible quick service food, except for cheeseburger spring rolls.
Okay, well, that's a cart, and I couldn't pick that, so.
I know.
I felt like
I just had to throw that dig in there.
I felt like I needed to pick something from every park because I want to be fair.
No, that's fair.
And
this
was I actually like this place. Okay, so give me a chance to explain myself. All right. This is open from 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. It's at the back of Fantasyland, and it does allow mobile ordering. One. The prices are kind of in the middle, between $13 to $15 an entree. Okay. And there are some really cool thematic things about this place. Okay. Which the food is decent for the Magic Kingdom, but the theming here is what really sold me. Okay. First of all, there is a lot of theming indoor and outdoor. And sometimes when you're sitting outside, Geppetto will come out, and you can kind of like there's like a balcony, and you can have an interaction. Okay, so that's one. Two, I like the seating arrangement in this place better because it's like you're going into the movie. So it's all smaller rooms, and it makes it a lot quieter and a lot less hectic. You don't feel like you're in a cafeteria. So I do like that about this place.
Yeah.
The layout is just a lot nicer.
Yeah.
If you're lucky enough to get a table, which is kind of like as you enter directly to your left, there is a bay of windows that looks down into It's a Small World. And you can wave at guests as they leave to start the attraction. And my daughter was doing long distance rock, paper, scissors with other kids in the boats as they would go by our table. And she thought that was the greatest thing ever. Yes.
That's awesome.
It was so cute.
That's great.
The third thing, which I think is a hidden gem, if you, instead of turning left, you turn right, kind of tucked around a corner is a wish book that is dedicated to the Blue Fairy, and you can write a wish in the wish book to the Blue Fairy. Okay, that is so cool, and I did it. And my wish came true.
I have been there countless times. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah,
I've never seen that. That's so cool.
That's why I'm the Disney expert
Okay.
here. I'm going to get it in a few minutes, people, okay?
Yeah. Yeah, you
Anywho, they have pretty good flatbreads. If you're gluten-free, they actually have a decent gluten-free flatbread. So keep that in mind if you need to have a gluten-free menu. And I am not kidding you when I say this. They have the best lemon pepper Parmesan chicken strips like I have ever had. Okay? Like this is like a gem. It is, I dream about these.
Yeah.
So
The
just saying.
truffle Parmesan fries too are amazing there.
Mhm.
I will
Yeah.
definitely say that.
So, one item out of 2,000 in the park, that's not that bad. Anyway. Okay. Now, we had kind of decided to stick to our top 5, but because I don't follow the rules, I have 2 honorable mentions. And I'm just going to cover them very briefly. The first
Of
is
course you
back
do.
The first is back in Epcot at Sunshine Seasons. So, 1, this place serves breakfast, which is really nice. 2, no, it does not have mobile order, but honestly, it's kind of old school cafeteria layout, but the layout works. Sometimes you just don't change things at work. They have lots of different kind of segmented areas so that you don't have to be in line with everybody for like one item that's like on the other end. They have grab and go stuff. They have like what I would consider like lighter, healthier fare. Plus, then they have like some really great desserts there if you're looking for that. It's in the land pavilion. So, yes, again, you've got tall ceilings. It can be loud, but there's also a fair amount of seating and really great people watching. Let me tell you, we have seen some pretty hysterical things just sitting there eating like a quick bite. The other honorable mention, and I said this before, Satuli Canteen. Okay, if my husband watches this episode, which he really should because, he needs to support me, he would not be happy that this fell as the honorable mention because in his book, this is like the top tier quick service. It was.
I agree.
I think the quality has slipped
I
some.
agree. I love it here. Okay.
I think the food is good. Now, see, you have to remember too, like, I haven't going to Disney since this opened, and I have seen the iterations of how things have progressed. So the portions are smaller, to be expected. That's everywhere. But I feel like the food quality isn't as good either. Like, okay, I'm throwing shade at you, Panera. You used to make everything fresh, and now everything is like frozen or like prepackaged. And I kind of feel like Satuli
There's like 3 bites of it. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like Satuli is like their potato hash. Either they're overcooking it now or it's like pre-cut and it comes in a bag and they're just heating it up. I don't know, but it has changed. So there's some things that are just like not as good. And because I know that, that's why it's an honorable mention. Is the food good? Yes. Do I go there every single time? Pretty much, especially if my husband's present, because he will have a full-on tantrum if we don't. No, actually, he will. So I do like going there. And I have to say, I don't really like mousse or like pudding or jello textures, but that like blue dessert that they have, that's another thing I dream about. I like that dessert. I don't know why. It is good. So yeah, those are some highlights that I have. And now I'm ready to be decimated by Melinda.
All right. Well, let's start over at Universal Studios Florida at Today Cafe. This is a huge fan favorite. It is in basically like the entrance area, which is called Production Central of Universal Studios Florida. So if you walk in, it's just to your right if you are heading towards Hollywood Boulevard. They are open from 9:45 a.m. until 9:30 p.m. So they've got a pretty wide expanse of hours. You can mobile order to a pickup counter that is in the restaurant. The range for like an entree item, which would include a sandwich or a salad or something to that effect and a side, is going to be anywhere between $10 to $20 depending on what you're getting. restaurant is themed to Good Morning America, which is, no, what am I doing? It is not themed to Good Morning America. It's themed to the Today Show. Wrong network. Whoops.
They're all the same.
Are you kidding? What is wrong with me? This restaurant is themed to, it literally says in the script, Good Morning America. Okay. This restaurant is themed to the Today Show, which is a long-running show on NBC. It is known for great breakfast items, sandwiches, and salads. They just have really fresh items. It is kind of typical like deli sandwiches and things like that, but everything is really fresh. The menu rotates a lot. So you've got a lot of new items that are kind of coming in and onto the menu very often. The coffee is great. They are very, very allergen and dietary restriction friendly. There's a ton of different options for people that have a lot of different dietary restrictions. And they're very well marked on the menus, both on the app and online and in the restaurant. So it's great for you if you are somebody who has difficulty ordering off a regular menu. Again, everything is just really fresh. The summer beet salad is one of my favorites. It's got like beets and arugula. And it's just really delicious. Their potato salad as a side option is also really good. There is not a ton of seating in this restaurant, and it can take a while to get your food. One, because they are kind of preparing everything fresh, but two, also because it is a smaller location and it's so popular. So be patient. Just be prepared that you could possibly have to wait a while, especially if it's like a peak lunchtime or if it's early in the morning when a lot of people are going to get breakfast items.
This is my biggest regret because I've never eaten here.
Okay. We have to change that.
I blame my daughter. Okay, because they're like everything on the menu looks good to me, but she's kind of a picky eater. And so she like turns her nose up at it. And so, as a parent, we always
You're
end
not
up
going to get chicken
someplace.
tenders. You're not going to get a hot dog. Yeah, that makes sense for sure. Your daughter would love our next restaurant on the list, which is Minions Cafe. This is probably my personal favorite restaurant in Universal Studios, at least. This is on Illuminations Avenue on your right-hand side. It does have mobile ordering, and restaurants like this, their mobile ordering is what Universal does best and is what makes it so much better than Disney, because you go and sit down at a table and scan a QR code at the table, place your order from your phone, and they bring the food to you. You don't have to fight to find a table and then place your order and then have somebody wait at the table so somebody else can go and get up and go to the counter to get your food to bring it back to the table. Universal does the work for you.
No, excuse me.
So
there is a thrill to balancing a tray of food while frantically looking for an open table. Okay, it is a thrill.
If you say so. That is one of the things. That is one of the very few negative things that I experienced traveling alone to Disney, was having to do mobile order and finally finding a table and then having to get up from the table to go get my food and hoping that that table's still going to be available when I come back. And not wanting to I wasn't carrying much in the parks with me. Hopefully I had a jacket or something that I could leave on a chair, but people don't care. They're going to go and take that table. Yeah, much better experience at Universal where you could just sit at your table and have somebody bring the food to you. But this restaurant is so adorable. It's so heavily themed, obviously, to everything Minions. There's booth seating, there's table seating. You can sit at a foosball table with the Minions and play foosball while you're eating your food. There are so many just fun, cute little things to look at. There's like a vending machine that has the Minions in it. I highly recommend that if you are a Minion fan or if you have kids that are Minion fans, that you just take a walk around this restaurant, even if you aren't planning on eating here, because it's just so cute and so fun. They are open from 10:45 in the morning until 8 o'clock at night. Entrees are going to run you between $17 and $23 a person. And they do have, in my experience, and I have a lot of experience here, relatively large portions. So you are definitely going to get your money's worth and get full at this restaurant. There's some really innovative, kind of interesting menu items. You've got things like crispy cauliflower and a Szechuan roasted chicken. You've always also got some really great desserts and some Minion-themed non-alcoholic beverages that are super cute and, again, really great for kids. There is always a ton of seating in this restaurant. You are not going to have trouble finding a table at all. And I think it was just like the perfect addition to quick service dining at Universal Studios Florida. We talked about it last week. They just took away my honeymoon soup and grilled cheese. So I am going to have to find my new go-to menu item, but it just means I get to try more things. I'll make my peace with it at some point eventually. We'll move over to Islands of Adventure to the Hogsmeade area and go to the Three Broomsticks. This, again, is going to allow you to mobile order at your table. They are open from 8 a.m. until 9 p.m. This restaurant serves breakfast until 10:30 in the morning. And then after 10:30 is when the menu will kind of transition and turn to the lunch and dinner menu. It's great for early park entry. This restaurant's going to run you anywhere from $15 to $23 for a full meal. My hack for this restaurant, and also my favorite way to start a morning for any Universal trip, is to do early park entry, ride Velocicoaster as your first ride of the day, and then head over to the Three Broomsticks, go to the one of the tables that's on the back patio of Three Broomsticks. So you walk straight back through the restaurant to the rear door and walk out the rear door, and there's tables on the back patio that overlook the track for Velocicoaster. And you can sit there in peace and eat your breakfast and watch Velocicoaster go by and just be excited about the rest of your day. I absolutely love doing that. It is my favorite way to start any day on a Universal trip. The food is really good as well. They have a ton of different items, both for breakfast and for lunch. Breakfast, get the breakfast potatoes. They're delicious. And every breakfast meal also includes a drink. And that drink can be a butterbeer. So that is a good way to save a lot of money on butterbeer. The lunch menu, you've got things like chicken, ribs, fish and chips, shepherd's pie, some English classics, and then some American items like the chicken and the ribs as well. Everything I've had here ever is delicious. It's really great. They serve the full gambit of the Harry Potter exclusive drinks. So your tongue-tying lemon squash, Otter's fizzy orange, all different types of butterbeer are all going to be available at this restaurant. Another big tip, if you are just looking for butterbeer, walk into the front doors of Three Broomsticks and go all the way to the right. There you're going to find the Hogshead Bar, where you can order alcoholic drinks and the beers that are exclusive to the Wizarding World, but you can also find all different types of butterbeer, and there's going to be almost no line. I think the longest I've ever waited in a line at Hogshead for a butterbeer is like 5 minutes versus the half an hour that you're going to wait at one of the butterbeer carts outside. So little pro tip there. It can be a little tough at peak meal times to find a table at Three Broomsticks. Like I said, go out to that back patio. Even during lunch, you will probably have a better chance at finding seating there than inside the restaurant. Otherwise, you might just have to wait a little bit for a table. All right, so we'll head out to the front of Islands of Adventure in Port of Entry, and we're going to go to Croissant Moon Bakery. This has a mobile order pickup counter. You're not going to be able to go and sit at a table to get your order brought to you, but they do have mobile order on the pickup counter. They are open from 8 a.m. until 4 p.m. Items are going to run you from $5 to $13. They have a lot of like breakfast sandwiches and then lunch deli sandwiches, pastries, some grab and go items. There's one time I had a really good like cold peanut noodle salad that was delicious just from the grab and go section. This is a good place to grab a coffee if you're like, I'm not a huge fan of Starbucks coffee. I actually really don't like it, but Croissant Moon Bakery has a really good coffee menu, and we'll have different kind of like fun, different coffee drinks that you can get from there. Love the bistro beef croissant, which is like roast beef and arugula and onions. That's delicious. And the jumbo pistachio chocolate cinnamon roll. I am all over that. This is really great if you want to take kind of, again, a leisurely breakfast where you're just kind of sitting at a table and people watching people walk into port of entry as the day begins. One of my favorite things to do, just kind of take those quieter moments in the park and just to see other people and their excitement for being there. So this is a great place to do that. It is very busy around park opening. So just be aware of that. Either be ready to wait if you are going to go during that time, or go, as we've said for like the fourth time now this episode, during non-peak meal times. And this is another place that rotates menu items a lot, so you can check back pretty often, and they're probably going to have something new for you to try. Last, we're going to head over to Epic Universe. It was pretty difficult to kind of narrow Epic down because they are so well known for their quick service food. But I am going to talk about Spitfire Grill, which is in the Isle of Berk at Epic Universe. They are open from 8:45 in the morning until 8:30 at night. There is no mobile ordering here as of right now. Hopefully this is something that'll come in the future, but that remains to be seen. They have kind of two different types of items at this restaurant. You are going to have your bowls. They have a steak bowl, a salmon bowl, a chicken bowl, and a veggie bowl. These are amazing. Like the steak bowl, for instance, is going to have steak, really well seasoned, very tender, kind of fresh grilled steak, sweet potatoes, and I believe it's Brussels sprouts on a bed of rice. And it's just delicious. It's a little bit healthier, a little bit more nutritious, but they're really delicious. And so it's a good alternative to like going and sitting somewhere and getting a big greasy burger or eating some fried chicken or something like that. This is really going to satisfy those hunger cravings, but be a little bit lighter and a little bit better for you. But then on the other hand, the second type of item that they serve here are the famous mac and cheese cones. So you can either go and get your healthy protein and veggies, or you can carbo load and get your mac and cheese in a bread cone topped with crackers. But we all know how popular those are. And I personally haven't had one yet. I don't know if I ever will. I'm a mac and cheese-aholic. I love mac and cheese, but the thought of having pasta in bread just seems so excessive.
Okay.
Especially when like...
Wait. You have to try it once. Try it once. Do not get the original one with goldfish crackers. Don't do that.
Okay.
I think I feel like
that would be the only one that I would like.
The crackers get mushy. It's not good.
I wouldn't want the crackers anyways. I think I would try to get it without the crackers if they would allow me.
Okay, so really quick story. I grew up in a town that had an Italian bakery, and they had something called the Cone Witch. And it was the exact same cone, okay, the bread cone, which is like, it's like different than, when you think of bread cone, people are like, oh, it's like bread. Like, this thing is like dough that's been like spiraled and then baked. And it's got kind of like a brioche type exterior to it. It's a little denser. And for whatever they do, I don't
Yeah.
know if they brush it with something on the inside, but it doesn't get soggy. But they are identical. And
Okay.
so we went there and I was like, I have to try one of these because I think this is going to be the closest thing to, and like that Italian deli is not there anymore. It's a stupid pizza place now, which they already have two in my hometown. Why put a third? Whatever. That's for another time. But anyway,
Selfish.
I had a moment out of Ratatouille when Anton Ego takes a bite of the ratatouille and he like has a flashback to his childhood. And I was just like, I'm like sobbing over macaroni in the universe. I'm like, this is so good. So
yeah, I'll try one for the sake of trying one and for the sake of being able to submit which cone gets your moan on UUOP. So I will try one in September, but I gotta say, I'm not super excited about it because it just sounds like a lot, especially when you think of like how hot Isle of Burke gets in the middle of the day. And I'm just like, oh God, that's a lot of carbs when it's that hot outside. And I'm going to be walking like 10 miles that day. But, you know,
you'll burn it off.
That's the very small, healthy part of my brain saying, what are you doing? So, I have an honorable mention, but unfortunately, you're not going to be able to try this anymore because it is Thunder Falls Terrace in Islands of Adventure at Jurassic Park. I always loved this place. It was a little different. It served items that were a little different. I loved the atmosphere because you were in the Jurassic Park Welcome Center. And so I love the vibes in there. And it had like the roasted pernil, which is like a pork dish. It had beans and rice, just some different options that you couldn't find anywhere else in the park. And I always felt like it was relatively well done. So this is somewhere that I'm going to miss. Bye-bye pomegranate Dole Whip.
Oh.
But those are my favorites and some places that I feel like you should definitely try out if you've never been there before.
Okay. Looks like that's it for this week's battle. I'm saying that very defeated because it wasn't much of a battle.
You had some good ones thrown in there.
Yeah. One item from this one place. Okay. So one thing I do want to point out though, you and I had very similar across the board, like Today Cafe and like ABC Commissary have kind of similar vibes in terms of like theme.
That's true. Yeah.
You know, and then like
even down to the theming, yeah.
Yeah, it was so I was kind of like, oh, that's interesting. We have a similar taste in things. And Three Broomsticks is kind of like the Harry Potter version of like the cargo bay, you know, kind of thing. And I'm just like, oh.
Yeah, so, and I was going to say Satuli Canteen and like the bowls at Spitfire, like those are kind of on par with each other as well. So you're absolutely right about that. That's really interesting. Mini battles, anyone?
Yeah, so I guess in this battle, you guys are going to have to decide who does the cuisine better. But thank you for tuning in.
Yeah, and let us know.
Please don't forget to vote in our Who Won poll on Facebook and Instagram to make your voices heard and fight for your team. Disney has an uphill battle this week. Anyway, have a great week and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Thanks, everyone. Bye. Thanks for tuning in to this week's battle. Now it's time to let us know what you think. Vote in our Who Won weekly poll on Instagram and Facebook. You can find us at Theme Park Throwdown everywhere. You can also watch video recordings of all of our episodes on our YouTube channel. Just search Theme Park Throwdown. If you're planning your next vacation, we're here to help. Go to portkeyvacations.com and fill out a quote request form, and be sure to request either Melinda or Tricia to be your advisor. Finally, make sure you check out our family of podcasts on the UUOP network. The Unofficial Universal Orlando podcast, the Taste of Universal podcast, the Unofficial Universal Great Britain podcast, the Portkey Passport, a Disney podcast for adults, the Theme Park Duo for your West Coast parks, Rush of Fear, a Halloween Horror Nights podcast, and Big Dumb Stuff for all your pop culture comedy. You can also check out our network partner, The Fudge Factor, on YouTube for all their park vlogs. That's it for this throwdown, guys. We'll see you next week in the ring.